So Mike, when were you first exposed to the Focus Cube?
I was first exposed to the Focus Cube when I came out to visit you last summer. During that time I was studying for the GMAT, and I had been studying for about 8 weeks prior, 40 hours a week.
And what kind of results were you getting?
Prior to coming out here, I took about 5 practice tests, and I scored a 530, a 560, a 550, and a 590. I actually believe I also scored a 500 in there too.
That was, yes, you did. And about how many hours had you studied to get those results? Do you have any idea?
Total hours studied, probably, so I was studying for about 8 weeks, about 40 hours a week. So we're looking at 320 hours put into study.
And then you came to visit in Arkansas, and you were exposed to the Focus Cube for the first couple of days. And what happened after a few days? What did you start to notice?
Well, at first I felt a little bit irritated, a little trouble studying. But after that, after the second day, I felt good. I felt I had the best study sessions I've had. After using the Focus Cube for about 4 days, I took a practice test and scored a 690 on it. I then took another practice test the next day because I thought it was a fluke, and I scored a 670. I then actually took the real test and scored a 640, which was considerably higher than my average practice test prior to being introduced to the Focus Cube.
So on August 25th, you took a real test and got a 640. And the first practice test that you took after exposure several days, you got a 670. What do you attribute that change?
690 the first one.
690.
And then a 670 was the next day to make sure it wasn't a fluke.
What do you attribute the change to? What happened?
I honestly don't know exactly what happened. I mean, like I don't know what happened. I just know the only difference in my study regimen was the Focus Cube.
And so, did you feel more clear about the material? You understood the material better?
Yeah, I mean, I felt that I was seeing problems and figuring out what to do faster. And I was looking at problems and just recalling the information that I'd studied quicker. That's
so it increased your speed and your retention.
Yeah, that's what it felt.
And your problem-solving ability, your analytical ability. You noticed a tangible change in your analytical ability and your ability to solve problems.
Yep, exactly.
And that affected the performance on the test. If you're moving faster and you're able to think more clearly.
I guess so, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. And what test was it that you were taking?
It was a graduate management admissions test. It scored out of 800. My score of 640 put me in the 78th percentile. Prior to that, my average was around 550, which would put me at around the 50th percentile, 55th percentile.
Okay, and that qualifies you for a whole different set of academic institutions.
Yeah, that pushes me right up into the bottom rung of the top schools, the Ivies, and the higher rung of the second tier schools.
Excellent. And then when you went back to school, so after you took the exam August 25th, you went back to school the next day?
Yep.
And what did you notice about your performance in school?
Well, I had a Focus Cube running in my room the whole time while I was at school, and I had it while I was studying, and it helped me study better, it helped me study more efficiently. Where it was shown was in the final numbers. I finished this semester with a 4.1 out of a 4.3 scale. My cumulative going into this semester was a 3.58, so I had the best semester I've had yet, with a much harder coursework.
Would you say that you're able to study longer or your comprehension is higher?
I'd say a little bit of both, you know.
So it's easier to learn and easier to spend more time studying, and the frustration levels are lower. You feel more satisfied with your studying, more at ease. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say you were more relaxed when you took the test, when you actually went to take the GMAT?
No.
Oh.
I wouldn't say I was more relaxed. I mean, I'd been studying for this test for about 9 weeks, and no, I was not relaxed going into the test. I mean, this was the judgment day here. I felt confident. I felt ready for the test, but I wasn't relaxed. I was kind of uppity, if you may. You know.
Normal anxiety.
Yeah. Normal anxiety.
So it wasn't that it made you feel more peaceful or at ease, it actually just allowed you to understand and retain the information.
Yeah, exactly.
And how do you feel about future test taking? Do you feel that the learning process has been accelerated, it's easier for you at this point? Anything that you might choose to learn that you have a natural aptitude for?
Yeah, I mean, I could say that. I mean, it definitely helps me study, and it helps me learn, and it helps me spend more time studying. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, well, I was asking if it made you feel as though you could, let's say you needed to, for a job in the future, you needed to study a language or something new. Do you feel that your learning style, your learning ability has been substantially improved?
Absolutely. I absolutely think that it definitely upped my learning potential.
That's a good word.
As for languages, they've never been my strong suit, so have to give that one another shot. But yeah, I definitely think it's upped my learning potential.
You've increased your potential to acquire new information, learn, integrate,
Yep.
and perform.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Anything else you want to say about it?
No, that's about it. You summed it up pretty well.
Excellent. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Mom.